Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Saturday and welcome back to another weekly home fragrance roundup. I hope you all had a fantastic week. If you are new around here, the weekly home fragrance roundup is an opportunity for me to just chit chat about all of the candles I was burning over the last week, what I was melting in terms of wax melts, what I have going in my Pura, which is still, it's still the pumpkin chai from Nest. Honestly, I'm growing a little tired of the fragrance, but I'm not done with the second vials. I might have to put that away until next year. Those vials really last a long time, I tell you what. Also, what I was using in my Crocs, what I was using underneath my lamps. So we're just talking all things home fragrance. I did have this last week off from work. We have a little bit of a lull before all of the holiday orders start needing to be put together. So I'm using these first couple weeks of November here to decorate my house for Christmas. So you're gonna start seeing things transitioning behind me here. Obviously, I am in the beginning stages. This is just random crap on my coffee table right now, but I'm in the process of hauling everything down from the upstairs, like attic storage area where I put all of my holiday decor, down to the first floor here, and that's quite a process. Yesterday I kind of started it and I started sweating going up and down the stairs. I am out of shape. I do need to get back to the gym. That's another one of those fun goals that I really did not meet this year, but I need to start getting into that this next year. So anyway, yeah, you guys, we need to discuss all of these candles, but before we get into it, usual disclaimer, check out the description box, loads of information down there. If you don't know what a candle crock or a candle lamp is, there's a video explaining that. There's sales information for the different companies that I tend to frequent the most this weekend. I believe there is a $10.95 candle sale that is happening at Bath & Body Works. I'm really excited. I almost placed my order last weekend when they were doing a $13.95 because I have a 25% off. I'm really glad that I waited because now I can use that 25% off of this sale and save myself a little bit more money. I also need some holiday hand washes. I usually, you know, do their hand soap special for that. So yeah, I'm excited to go shopping at Bath & Body Works this weekend. But there's sales information for all of the companies that I tend to frequent, like I said. There's some discount codes down there for both Kringle and HomeWorx. If you are placing an order with them and you want to try to save a little bit more money, maybe you don't have any rewards, you can test those codes out, see if they work. It's just a bunch of information, so have at it if you are interested. Alf obviously showed up to work just a few minutes late this morning, but if you're new, this is Alf. He will be taking a little nap here on my lap as I am filming. Alf is a pug, not a Frenchie. Ears are down, not up, so that makes him a pug, but he is the most precious boy, and I just love him so much. So anyway, he joins me in most of my videos in the background. You'll hear some snoring, some snorts. It's just that free pug ASMR that is a bonus here on my channel. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started by taking a little tour around and seeing what is currently burning and what I'm using underneath my lamps and in my Crocs. All of my Crocs are full right now. I've been using those Crocs in heavy rotation right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And then we're gonna come back here and we're gonna talk about a bunch of new candles that just launched. I wanna give you guys some updates. They're not ready for like full in-depth post-burn reviews because I like to wait a little bit longer, but I can give you just some initial thoughts. So let's head into the tour and then let's meet back here and we'll start discussing all these candles. All right, welcome to the entryway where you guys are getting a little sneak peek of the change of the decor here from the fall to the holidays. This was a gift from my friend Fiona. This is HomeWorx Fig Marmalade. I don't know when this came out. I don't know why I skipped over this. I'm so grateful that she gave this candle to me because I love this scent. You know what it reminds me of? It is giving me Bath & Body Works brown sugar and fig vibes. I think Fiona probably purchased this candle last year at some point. I don't think it's currently available. You might be able to find it, you know, at Mercari or eBay or places like that. Listen, I'm not going to pay those prices for another one of these, but HomeWorx, if you are watching, please come back with this fragrance. Please. Oh, it's so good. I will be doing an in-depth review of it, but so far I've been having a really great experience. I mean, no issues at all with this burn. The wicks are delightful. They are not migrating. It's just a lovely, lovely burn so far. And I wish I had more. This is so good. Yeah, anyway, let's move on. Okay, so this is obviously just a gratuitous Alf shot here, but I just cannot get over how stinking cute this dog is. I just love him. Penny's also here. She's asleep on my laundry. I would show you, but I'm kind of embarrassed by the pile of laundry that is currently sitting on my couch that I have been ignoring now for 2 days. Could be 3. I need to fold that laundry. But anyway, let's talk about what is currently burning on my coffee table here in the family room. This is HomeWorx chocolate peanut butter cup. Now, I've already done an in-depth review of this, so you can reference it if you're interested. But if you are hoping that this smells like a Reese's peanut butter cup, I am here to disappoint you. It does not. This smells like chocolate. Delicious, yummy, perfect milk chocolate. Kind of, well, maybe a mix of like mostly milk chocolate with a hint of dark chocolate, but very much just a chocolate candle. It is missing the important peanut butter component. I was hoping that this was just going to be an absolute rock star in terms of it being a Reese's peanut butter cup fragrance, because it would literally become my husband's favorite candle ever. That guy eats Reese's peanut butter cups like it is his full-time job. Luckily, Stella hates Reese's peanut butter cups. And so, you know, after she went trick-or-treating, Craig got him a whole stash. So he's set for a couple weeks here. But yeah, listen, good try on this one, HomeWorx. But if you could please add the peanut butter the next time that you re-release this, it would be greatly appreciated. I will say the burn on this has been flawless. No discoloration, no sooting. The wicks are doing just fine. In fact, you can see the bottom of the candle right now. You can see those wick clips. So this will probably be the last burn, I think. And I've enjoyed this one. I just, like I said, I wish that they didn't forget to put the peanut butter in here. Other than that, it is a great chocolate fragrance overall. So if you're in the market, this is available at QVC in a set of 2. So the HomeWorx are linked at QVC in the description box. And then also at homeworx.shop, where you can purchase it just, you know, in the single candle format. You don't have to buy 2. So anyway, let's move on. I know there's more candles burning right now. It's a little overkill right now, but it does smell really good in here. All right, we are now in my kitchen, which honestly it's a little bit of a disaster. So I am very strategically zoomed in on this candle right now. But you guys, this is country candle Christmas time in the city. Have you tried this one? I'm telling you right now, if you have not tried this for the holidays, get it. The strength and throw are superb for a country candle. And this fragrance, it is absolutely incredible. I cannot say enough good things about this scent overall. I will be doing an in-depth review of it, so that'll definitely be coming up here early this next week. But just let me tell you right now, if you have skipped over this one, stop skipping over it. Try it. If the fragrance notes at all intrigue you or appeal to you, do it. It's so good. Also, while we're here, I thought I'd show you really quickly my fire starters that I make. I kind of reference these in my October home fragrance empties. These are the candle crates that I was talking about from Kringle. So I just stack them up on top of each other because obviously the wax, you know, it can break through the bottom there. So I just deal with that by stacking up several, and you know, the next tray will catch the things that go through the cardboard. But I break these apart after the wax has hardened. This is just a bunch of Scentsy wax that I have poured in here. And then I also just toss the paper towels that I use to clean out my, my dishes in here. And man, these make our fires. This is the outdoor fireplace that I'm talking about. So this thing here, we just toss one of those in there and it really gets the fire going. In fact, you see those scorch marks. It got the fire going a little too aggressively the other night. There were like flames shooting out of the fireplace. So do be careful with how many of those you toss into your fire. I'm gonna have to clean that up. Looks kind of awful, but it's easy enough to clean. But anyway, let's move on to what is in my candle crock in the laundry room. Here in the laundry room, in this candle crock is the Apple Crisp from Bath & Body Works. So this is actually the second one that I purchased. I repurchased it after I tried the first one. I will say the burn after about the halfway point is real rough with this one. So I burned this one twice and then just decided, you know what? I'm just gonna toss it in the crock. I know what it's gonna do, and it's just gonna get dirty and gross. And before we even get there and I get annoyed, I'm just gonna put it in the crock. You guys, this is such a great fragrance. It's a really delicious apple crisp scent. It's a little bit generic, but it's done really well. If you only pick this one up to pop it in a crock, I think it's absolutely worth it for that because it is so delicious. And when I have a candle that is like 3/4 of the way full still, and specifically a Bath & Body Works candle, I usually get a solid 2 weeks of 24/7 fragrance output. So yeah, we'll be enjoying this one here again next week. So you'll see it again next Saturday, but listen, it's a great scent. Would definitely recommend. I probably won't get any more at this point, but if it comes back next year, yes, would repurchase for sure. Alrighty, we are now at the top of the staircase where I have a console table. And this is my Hestia candle lamp. I will link this one down below. It's one of my favorite candle lamps. I actually just had to replace the bulb on this bad boy after it going for months and months and months with 2 8-hour melting sessions each day, essentially. The bulbs last forever in these lamps. So anyway, do you see that delightful, like solid wax pool there? That's at least 1.5 inches. So did I say what this is? I mean, you can read it, obviously. It's the Garland Berry from HomeWorx. This was a leftover from last year that I never got around to burning. I'm really enjoying melting it. Honestly, I think the Strength and Throw is better when I'm melting it than this one was when I was burning it. So all that being said, if Garland Berry pops around this year, it is a great fragrance, so check it out. But if you are in the market for a candle lamp, I honestly cannot tell you how amazing this one is. I'm gonna zoom out, but the camera might go blurry. It's been struggling focus. There we go. It really struggles to focus for some reason. It's probably because of the lack of lighting up here. Let's see what happens if I turn that on. Does that help? Nope. Okay. Anyway, moral of the story is that this is a great candle lamp. Would recommend. I would not recommend my camera, but do get the lamp. All right, let's move on. This is the candle crock that is in our master bedroom, and it is the ivory crock that I have linked down below. I adore this crock. And in here is Country Candle Gingerbread Tiramisu. Both Craig and I really love this particular fragrance, and so I burned it past the halfway point, and I thought, I'm gonna go ahead and just pop this into the crock in our bedroom and get the festive vibes going up there. It has smelled so good in here this week, you guys. I really love that gingerbread tiramisu. I don't really get much of a tiramisu component, but it is just a really great gingerbread fragrance. So I already have an in-depth review up of it, so feel free to check that out on the Kringle and Country Candle playlist. But I tell you what, I'm gonna need another one, and I might just melt the thing from start to finish because the fragrance output is so perfect from this one. So yeah, big fan. Love it. And normally I'm not a huge fan of a lot of like American gingerbread type fragrances because I feel like they're so heavy on the ginger and they smell more like, most of the candles smell more like gingerbread snap cookies versus like the soft, beautiful, more like European gingerbread, which is what I grew up with. And I just think I think it's so much more delicious. So that being said, if you are at all interested in that particular country candle for the holidays, 2024, get it. Love it. Great experience. Big fan. All right, let's move on to the last crock. Lastly, we have a candle crock in the back bedroom of the house. And in here is a white pumpkin, which was actually left over from fall 2023. Never got around to burning it. And I did not burn it during fall 2024 either. So I thought, you know what? I want to get this candle out of my Bath & Body Works backup stash. So I'm just going to pop it into a crock. I really love the fragrance. It is amazing. But yeah, sometimes I will just take a brand new candle and I will melt it from start to finish. And this one is doing really quite well in the crock. You can see that those wick clips have migrated there. This is why you never relight a candle that you put into a candle crock. That can be extremely dangerous. The wicks are placed kind of at the perfect position towards the center of the candle so that you don't have any issues with the glass getting too hot and potentially bursting or cracking on you. So be very careful to never relight a candle that you put into a crock. Now, with a lamp, because you are warming from the top down, technically you probably could relight it as long as the wicks have stayed put for the most part. And they do tend to stay put, especially for the first half of the candle as you're melting it. But as you start to get further down and the wax liquefies towards the bottom of where the wick clips are, it can dislodge them. So be a little bit more careful, but you can technically relight a candle that you have had underneath the lamp. Wax will not dissipate if you are just warming it like this. The only way wax will dissipate is if you have a flame that you are using to, experience that candle. So this is why I make a lot of those fire starters. So once this is completely scentless, I will carefully take this out and then pour this wax into one of those cardboard containers that you saw downstairs. And then I will use that as a fire starter. So works great for me, but if you don't have a fireplace that you need to make fire starters for, obviously this could be perceived as a little bit more wasteful to you, but I don't know. I don't see it as wasteful. I'm enjoying the fragrance, and that is a big part of, obviously, home fragrance. So, all right, you guys, let's head back downstairs and talk about all of the other candles and wax melts from this past week. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that little tour of what's currently happening around the house right now. It really does smell like a holiday wonderland in here. It doesn't really look like it quite yet, but it will here in a couple of weeks. So my holiday Decorate With Me series will be going live the week of Thanksgiving this year. So if you're looking for a little bit of inspiration, definitely check that series out. Make sure you're subscribed. All those videos should pop up in your subscription feed as soon as they go live here on my channel. So anyway, you guys, there is much to discuss Kringle-wise this week. Obviously, we had the launch of the 4 wicks. Clearly, I am just starting out with my Christmas 4 wick that was gifted to me from Kringle. So I'm going to be burning that for a little bit longer before I share my thoughts on that. but I have really focused on continuing to dig into the new holiday Kringle and country candles, as well as the latest reserve launch. So this week honestly was just mostly burning a lot of Kringle. I'm going to be hitting up Bath & Body Works for their sale obviously this weekend, so I'm hoping to pick up some great holiday candles from there as well that I can review for you guys. Be sure to let me know if you have any like must-have recommendations. I have a few recommendations written down already from some previous comments, but if there's anything that is maybe launching this weekend that I have to check out, let me know. So all right, I don't even know where to start. I guess I'll start with an update on some candles that I finished in the last few days here that did not end up in my October empties video. So this is Country Candle Fireside Chai, and you'll notice there's no wax left in here and no wicks. So here's my final thoughts on this particular candle. Listen, I really expected this one to do a lot better in the crock than it actually did. First of all, usually when a candle doesn't perform when it's burning, when I put it into a crock, almost always, like 9 times out of 10, I would say the strength and throw is greatly improved by just melting the whole thing at once. So that's why I love my crocks. I feel like I can extract the fragrance oils and enjoy the home fragrance aspect. I'm obviously missing out on the ambiance, but clearly I'm burning candles elsewhere all the time, so I can get the ambiance somewhere else. But I do want to extract the fragrance oils. And this one was surprisingly light, even though I had only burned it to about the halfway point. So there was still half of this candle left in terms of the wax, and it was really light. I had it in the laundry room, and yeah, I mean, I smelled it in the laundry room, but it did not really travel out of the laundry room, and that's not the norm. So I really do think that maybe there could have been a miscalculation in the amount of fragrance oils that were added. I just have to think that something is going on with some of these holiday candles. And listen, here's the thing. Not all of them are performing badly for me. It's just a few so far. A few is probably too many in, you know, just one collection, but there are candles that are performing far better than the duds that I have kind of started with. So anyway, this Fireside Chai, I just can't really recommend it. Maybe the wax melts are better. It's a great scent. It's not a chai fragrance if you're expecting to have that typical kind of spicy, slightly milky tea type fragrance here. You're not getting that from this. This is more of like a cider, like a holiday cider, than it is a chai. So I don't really understand the name. But that being said, it is a nice scent. What I could smell, I did enjoy. I wanted it to be chai, but it was great nonetheless. But all that being said, the strength and throw just wasn't there, so I can't wholeheartedly recommend this one. And this one here did even worse, and this one really bummed me out because I love this fragrance profile. This is the Sugar Plum and Myrrh. I really hope they can get to the bottom of specifically what happened with this one so that they can fix it and hopefully re-release it next year. This was so light, you guys. It was essentially almost unscented in the crock. More so than even the Fireside Chai. And that's really not good. So I have no idea what went wrong here, but I'm telling you, what I can smell is so lovely. This like sugar plum note that they have in here is so beautiful. It's absolutely perfect, but you have to stick your nose into the jar to really be able to even assess the fragrance. And that is not, it's not normal for Kringle. So I will be passing some information on directly to Kringle after I get through these last couple of candles here, just so I can give them, you know, a good breakdown of what from Country performed, what didn't, and what from Kringle performed and what didn't. So yeah, anyway, as amazing as this fragrance profile is, I can't wholeheartedly recommend this. So if you're thinking about getting this, I would actually say skip it. Maybe try it in the wax melts. Maybe the wax melts are better, but I feel like there is just an inadequate amount of oils in this one. So for what it's worth, those are my thoughts. Obviously there's no more wax left in here. I decided to go ahead and just use the leftover wax for my my fire starters that I make. So, all right, this is Autumn Pumpkin from HomeWorx. This was a 3-wick from, what year did this come out? 2020. So there was a trio that was like a TSV or something. It had the Scarlet Woods, the Spiced White Pumpkin, and then the Autumn Pumpkin in that trio. Like I said, they were all 3 wicks, not the traditional 4 wicks, so these are a little bit smaller. I love Autumn Pumpkin. This is one of the fragrances that goes from fall into the holidays with me, so you'll probably see another empty of Autumn Pumpkin before the end of the year. This is so delicious and so lovely. I just decided to melt this one because, I don't know, I could. So I did. It performed great underneath my candle lamp. So yeah, and the wax, as I was pouring off the different layers, went into my fire starters. So, all right, guys, we are, sorry about that little interruption there. Let's keep going. Next, let's dive into just a couple of updates on some of the other holiday candles that I started burning this week. I didn't bring them all in here, but I was focusing on, like I said, the Country candle holiday releases for this year and the Kringle holiday releases for this year. So I brought the pomegranate and fir in. This is actually one of the reviews that you'll see tomorrow. You can see I really dug into this one this week. I really like this one, and this is a great performer. It is an interesting, slightly more perfumey pomegranate. I didn't expect to enjoy it quite as much as I am enjoying it. I don't think it's going to be one where I'll be clamoring to like repurchase it, but I am really enjoying this one. So if you're in the market and you really like the fragrance profile of this pomegranate and fir, I can tell you that the performance has been like the usual Kringle 2-wick performance. So definitely worthwhile, absolutely worth picking up. Like I said, in-depth reviews of these coming here. Tomorrow will be this, and also the Christmas in Manhattan. And then I think also the last video that I will upload tomorrow will finally be my review of the Pura system. I know. I keep putting that off, and I don't know why. I really like the system. I just need to freaking review it. So I'm going to do it tomorrow as my last video. But the second candle review that you'll see tomorrow is the Christmas in Manhattan. This one is also at the halfway point. I will say this is performing like the usual Country candles do for me, but I don't love this fragrance profile as much. This is kind of a masculine, fresh, more outdoorsy type of fragrance, and that's just not what I personally love during the holidays. But I have been, like I said, burning it. I will say there's quite a bit of residue that I've noticed that's sticking to the side of the jar with the Country candles this go around. Usually you'll have a little bit of residue, but there's a little bit more than normal this go around. So I wonder what's causing that. But anyway, if you like this scent profile, if you like those fresher, more outdoorsy, slightly masculine holiday fragrances, check out the Christmas in Manhattan, because it has been a good performer. And I've burned it, like I said, to the halfway point, so I feel confident in recommending both of these. Been burning the other candles as well. You'll see in-depth reviews of those hopefully this next week. One candle that is not a part of the, where's the other one? Oh, here it is. Okay. We'll do all of the reserve candles last, but can you guess what this is? Man, I keep burning this and I keep falling more and more in love with it. I'm kind of nursing it along. I'm definitely past the halfway point. This is the Heartwood from the Kringle Reserve line. Listen, this is so worth getting. It is stunning. I think I might put this into my candle crock in my master bedroom once the candle that's in there is done. So I'll keep burning it until then, but I just adore this fragrance so much. It's the most interesting, sweet, woody, just beautiful, unique fragrance. I adore this. So this is sandalwood, green, sage, spice, patchouli, and amber. There is an in-depth review of this up already, and I'm telling you, I feel like this one was kind of underrated in that like Kringle release. It shouldn't be. It's stinking beautiful. Trust me, that is delightful. And then of course we did some sprinkled macaroons. These are macarons. These are macarons. So funnily enough, they are listed as macarons on the bottom of the label now. So I think Kringle is slowly coming around to recognizing the difference between macaroons and macarons. I love macarons. I love macaroons too, but they're two very different cookies. When I am feeling like I want a chocolatey coconut explosion, I go for a macaroon. When I want the delicious almond, like French patisserie treat, I go for a macaron. My favorite fillings for macarons are vanilla, basic vanilla. I love it. I also love apricot, pistachio. I love Nutella, strawberry, raspberry, lemon. It doesn't matter what the filling is. Just let me shovel them in my mouth. They are so delicious. So anyway, if you've never tried a macaron, take yourself to a French bakery and get you some, because it's so worth it. We have a couple of bakeries here in Portland that have a Frenchy vibe to them, and they make the most amazing macarons. If you are ever in downtown Portland, go to, is it Saint Honor? I think it's Saint Honor. I'll put it going across the screen here. It is on Broadway, I think, and it is, ooh, they make amazing macarons. So. Okay, sorry, I keep getting phone calls. I just decided to turn the ringer down and just, we're gonna ignore it. We're gonna ignore everybody for the rest of this video. Let's dive into these 6 new Reserve candles that launched this past week over at Kringle. Now, what I wanna start with just across the board is the Strength and Throw. I have had a couple of Strength and Throw issues with some recent Reserve candles, but that has not been the case with this collection here. The Strength and Throw is easily somewhere between a 7 and an 8 for all 6 of these. So that is something that I want to address right off the bat. I've not had any Strength and Throw issues here. But what is really kind of surprising me personally is there are a couple of fragrances that I didn't think I would enjoy all that much, but it turns out I'm kind of falling in love with these fragrances, and vice versa. There's a couple that I thought I would really be into, and once I lit them, I was just like, yeah, nope, this one's not for me. So, but that's a personal preference thing, and you can decide your own personal preferences, but for me, some of these fragrances are way more amazing than I thought they would be, and some of them are just kind of like, why are you like this? I wish you were maybe a little bit more like your cold sniff. So anyway, let's dive in. I will tell you that all of these candles have been burned a minimum of 3 separate burn sessions, and each burn session was a minimum of 4 hours. So I have really dug into these, so much so that I think by the end of this next week here, I will be able to start posting the post-burn reviews. I personally do not like reviewing candles unless I have at least reached the halfway point of the candle. Sometimes with these regular Kringle jars, I will make an exception and we'll go a third of the way and then review. But that's typically because I don't have very many problems with the Kringle soy formula. So I feel a little bit more confident doing that. I don't feel confident doing that with the country candles, but the regular Kringle classic jars, absolutely. But we're gonna go ahead and dive into these. The strength and throw has been consistent. And I'll just kind of talk a little bit about the fragrances here. So if you don't want to wait for the actual post-burn reviews, hopefully this initial information will help you in your decision-making process. All right, we're gonna get started with the spiced orange and cranberry. Listen, this is a fragrance that I am enjoying, but I will say that this is not a revolutionary type of fragrance at all. I feel like most of us have smelled a orange cranberry concoction in terms of home fragrance in the past. It's a pretty common, I would say, combination for especially like a holiday fragranced candle. This one is done quite well. The fragrance notes read spice, berry, citrus, ginger, effervescence, and berry again. The orange that's in here is a really bright, crisp, fresh orange. The cranberry is very tart. There is quite a bit of sweetness, however, in this fragrance overall. I don't think there's a whole lot of spice going on here, but it is sweet. Not cloying levels of sweetness, but it does have quite a bit of sweetness to it. So if that's not your vibe, I would skip this one. But it does have a really nice effervescence to it, almost like they poured some bubbly or champagne, sparkling wine, if you will, into this formulation. There is a bubbliness that comes through here, and it does make it a little bit different from most orange cranberry concoctions that are out there on the market in terms of home fragrance. But the addition of that little bit of like a effervescence bubbliness, I think sets this one apart just a little bit. That being said, it's still a basic fragrance, but if it appeals to you, listen, it has had a good strength and throw, and I'm enjoying it. Will I repurchase this one? No. I mean, it's a great one and done, but it's not the type of fragrance that I clamor over. I prefer my citrus to be more of like a pomander type of vibe, and my cranberry to be more like a cranberry chutney type of vibe. I don't necessarily always want to marry the two together. So next is, listen, this is one of my big surprises. I love this. I love this fragrance. And if there is one fragrance that I would encourage you to try, it is going to be the Speakeasy. I really didn't think I would fall for this one. I typically don't like boozy fragrances, but this one here is bourbon, wood smoke, spice, tobacco, oak moss, amber, and vanilla. I feel like those fragrance notes kind of imply that this is going to be boozy, that it's going to be maybe a little bit more mature smelling, maybe leaning slightly masculine even, but I am here to tell you, this is so fruity and delicious. This is lovely. Absolutely adore this. Where I think I'm getting the fruitiness from is, and someone pointed this out, it's probably the bourbon itself. The bourbon does not come across as like your typical, like you just open, you know, a jar of bourbon and stick your nose in it. This is, I feel like the bourbon that's coming across here is more like the fruit that was infused into the bourbon, if you will. So I feel like I get some cherry here and some strawberry, but it's not like I don't want to imply that it's just like a summertime fruity scent, because it's really not. The amber that's in here adds a beautiful sophistication. The vanilla kind of helps to marry everything together in here. I don't get any oak moss at all. I do smell tobacco, and it's more of like a pipe tobacco, like a sweet pipe tobacco. Spice, it's not spicy. It's really not. But that wood smoke, yeah. There is that just little hint of smokiness to this one as well. I'm telling you, this is beautiful. This will be a repurchase for me, hands down. Don't want to be without that. And what's interesting is that it's the type of fruity scent that I could see myself enjoying during the spring and summer, but also I'm really enjoying it in like the holiday season. It's the holiday season in my mind. It might not be in yours, and that's fine. But anyway, okay, here's one where I thought I was really gonna love this, you guys, but there is a note that I cannot get past, and you'll know what it is here in a second. Okay, the notes read vanilla, wood, sandalwood, lavender. Ugh. I don't know what it is. I do not like lavender. It smells like soap to me, and this candle has a soapy vibe. The lavender ruined it. Had they not added that lavender, I bet I would have loved this, because we also have musk and tonka bean towards the bottom. Listen, is there a vanilla? Yes. Is there a sandalwood? Yes. Is there like a just general like woodiness overall? Yeah. Is there tonka bean? Yes. Musk? I wouldn't consider this like a musky fragrance, but the thing that just takes over all of those other lovely fragrance notes is that soapy, soapy lavender. It just, yeah. I'm going to burn this, and I'm going to review it, but it is absolutely going in the gift away pile, because I just cannot enjoy this one with the amount of lavender that's in here. I don't know if it's just because I personally don't like lavender and my nose is just kind of seeking it out, but it smells really heavy on the lavender and not enough of like the other stuff, which I actually would enjoy. I mean, just based on this label, I thought I was absolutely going to adore this, but I'm really struggling with it, to be perfectly honest. It's burning fine. Strength and throw are great. If you love lavender, have at it. More for you. I will not be repurchasing that. This one is also a little bit of a surprise for me. This is the cinnamon and cedar. Now, cinnamon and cedar is cinnamon, cedar, wood, vanilla, musk, and sandalwood. It's definitely heavy on a, I would say, borderline spicy cinnamon. It's not a straight up red hot cinnamon, but it is a more, I would say, aggressive cinnamon that's in here. There is a definite, just kind of generic woodiness that runs throughout this one as well. I guess that could be the sandalwood, but there's also just that regular wood note. Cedar, yes, there is a definite cedar note in here. I don't get much in the way of vanilla. I do get a little bit of like a musky vibe from this overall. But you know what? I like this. I didn't think I was gonna like it at all. It's a lot prettier when it's burning than just the cold sniff. But if you are the type of person that really likes a solid cinnamon cedar combination for the holidays, this is going to fit in perfectly with your collection probably. I wish it was a little, that the cinnamon was just a little softer, more of like that Ceylon cinnamon. But like I said, it is starting to venture into the slightly spicy cinnamon category for me, but it still is very much an enjoyable fragrance. So overall, I'm pleasantly surprised by this one, and I'm gonna continue to enjoy it, because why not? This here is another one that I'm a little bit surprised by. This is the Volcanic Black Pine. And this one I have been burning in, specifically in the powder room. Honestly, it's way too strong for that room. But if you really want to like get a solid whiff of this one, put it in a small space and then walk in, it'll smack you in the face for sure. It's quite potent. This one is definitely a little bit more masculine, but I kind of like it. I don't love it, but I do enjoy it a lot more than I thought I would. So the notes in here are smoked woods, bergamot, resins, vetiver, amber, and fir. There is a healthy dose of bergamot in here, which is not always my favorite. There is a like slightly hearth smoked wood type note in here as well for sure. There's a definite dose of amber. There's vetiver in here as well. It is slightly sweet, which I think is coming from that resin note that's in here. But I like this one in like a weird, odd kind of way. I like this one. So it's interesting. It is definitely not something that I would have, you know, picked up. If I just saw this like at the Kringle store, I'd probably be like, oh, cool. It's a succulent. I'm not sure how I feel about the succulent with this being like a volcanic black pine, but it is a nice scent. It's a little bit more masculine, but it's nice. And this one here, I'm still not 100% sold on it, but I do think it could grow on me. This is the Pine Cone and Clove. I have a real thing for pine cones. I decorate with pine cones every fall, and even throughout the holidays, you're gonna see a lot of pine cones when I do my Holiday Decorate With Me series. This one, it's interestingly perfumey in a way. Okay, the notes are cedar, fir needle, wood, spice, clove, and citrus. I think it's that citrus. I like that citrus that's in here. But it is a little bit more masculine for sure. There is a definite cedar note. Fir, yeah. Wood, yeah. There is a heavy, like, just kind of generic, like freshly cut wood type note in here. There is some spice in here for sure. There's definitely clove, but I feel like I also get some cinnamon in here as well, but the clove is much more noticeable. Yeah, it's not terribly complex, but I do kind of like it. I don't love it, obviously. I don't love it, but I'm enjoying it a little bit more than I thought I would, for sure. Yeah, this one, it's kind of pretty. It's kind of pretty in a way. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the new Reserve candles so far. Like I said, the in-depth reviews will still be going up. So those will be going up probably, like I said, later next week. So if you're interested, stay tuned. We have a bucket of wax. Listen, I didn't go through as much wax this week as I thought I would. At the beginning part of this week, I still had all of my fall warmers out. And what I did towards the beginning of the week was, I think it was, no, that was from last week. I think it was just these two. Yeah, that was it. Okay, the beginning part of the week was sips of cider. This is a very sweet, it's an interesting cider. There's a slight perfuminess to it that sometimes I love and sometimes I dislike. This week, I was really into it, but there have been some other times in the past where I've melted this and just thought, do I love this? I loved it at the beginning part of this week. Now, once I put all of my fall warmers away, I started busting out some of my holiday warmers. You see the, what was this one called? The Christmas Glow. That one was called the Christmas Glow. I bought like 9 of these because I got them on clearance. I think I got them when they were like 10 bucks each. It was absurd. Now I have gifted several away, but I still have, I think, like 5 or 6 in my collection. It's one of my favorite warmers ever that Scentsy has done. But anyway, once I got all of those holiday warmers out, I busted out a sweet orange pomander, because we all know what a sucker I am for the pomander. I busted this Scentsy brick out, and I really enjoy this one. I will say the citrus isn't quite as fresh and bright as I would like in this one. It's nice. By the way, you can't get this brick right now. This was, I believe, available last year. But I really like the clove that they use in here. It's softer. It's very pretty. I just don't love the citrus quite as much. But overall, I think it's still a great fragrance, and it definitely has been putting me in the festive mood. And I will say, it's blending quite nicely with some of the candles that I have going right now. So yeah, I really enjoy this one. I think I might have one more of these bricks. I usually have some bricks left over at the end of each holiday season. So, but yeah, this one is absolutely lovely. And that's kind of it for wax melts this week. I was mentioning in my October home fragrance empties that I really didn't get through nearly as much Scentsy as I wanted to during the month of October. So I went back to working as a florist, and this go around I am not working for myself. My own floral design company is still shut down. I have no intentions of resurrecting that. But I am working for a girlfriend now, and she has a studio down by the river here in Portland. And so when I'm designing, I go to her studio. And so I've been out of the house a little bit more than usual. And I think that that has made me a little bit lazy about changing out my wax. So I need to definitely dig into the holiday wax that I just bought a bunch of. I also have some leftover holiday stuff from Scentsy from last year. So yeah, I've got a good amount to get through. And I was looking through some of my fall stuff. I think I'll be able to use some of these fall fragrances from Scentsy in the holidays as well. So I don't like to let my Scentsy collection get out of control. I store all of it at the top of the stairs in these bins that I bought from Target. I'll try to remember to link my Scentsy storage video down below so that you can see it. But my goal is to never outgrow that cabinet for all of my wax. If I do, I have to stop buying wax. Like, I can't outgrow that. I'm really past the like hoarding stage of my home fragrance life here. So, but yeah, I was a little disappointed in the fact that I didn't get through nearly as much of that fall wax as I wanted to. But, you know, going back to work has definitely been, it's been a little bit different. I really like it, but at the same time, yeah, I'm gonna have to learn how to like keep up with all the other stuff now too. So anyway, that's everything that I have for you guys today. So tomorrow, stay tuned for a couple more in-depth holiday candle reviews, and then my thoughts on the Pura system. And next week we'll start digging into some of these, where are you going? Some of these reserve candles. Y'all done? You finito? Oh my gosh, why don't you say goodbye to everybody? Say thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Give this video a thumbs up, right? Can you guys stand how cute I can't stand it. I just love him so much. Also, you want a sneak peek of the entry table? Oh, yeah, that's... I don't think you're really going to be able to see that. Anyway, ooh, that's a lot of my face. Stay tuned for my Decorate With Me series the week of Thanksgiving. I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.